He was just an ordinary Australian man. No fame, no fortune, no one really noticed him. But the moment he pressed a single button, time froze, reality shattered, and the world was never the same again. No one expected that one man, with one choice, could change the fate of the entire planet. Nobody really noticed him at first. He was just another guy walking the streets of Melbourne, with messy hair, quiet eyes, and a notebook he carried everywhere like it was a part of his soul. His name was Jaden Cross, an ordinary name, an ordinary face, but an extraordinary mind. Jaden wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. He wasn't even social. Most days, he worked as a night cleaner at a university science lab, pushing mops and emptying trash bins while students and professors walked past him without a glance. But what they didn't know was that every night, when the halls were empty and the lights dimmed, Jaden stayed back. Not to clean, but to think. For years, he had been working on an idea so outrageous that even he sometimes doubted it. An idea that could, if it worked, flip the way the world functioned, forever. It all started when Jaden was just 14. He lost his brother in a tragic car accident. It shattered him. But more than that, it sparked a question in his mind that never left. What if time wasn't fixed? What if there was a way to bend it, just enough to undo a single moment? Since then, he'd been obsessed. Time theories, quantum physics, alternate timelines. He taught himself everything, borrowing books, watching lectures, sneaking into university libraries. He wasn't a scientist by degree, but his understanding was deeper than most professionals. Because he wasn't chasing knowledge for prestige. He was chasing it for one reason, to go back and fix the one moment that destroyed his world. And so, night after night, in the quiet corners of the lab, he built something. It didn't look like much, just a twisted mess of wires, old computer parts, copper coils, and an old microwave casing. But inside that chaotic shell, Jaden had embedded calculations so precise, so impossibly advanced, that if anyone had seen them, they would have laughed or panicked. Until one night, everything aligned. Jaden sat in front of his device, staring at the flickering lights, his fingers trembling. The equation was complete. The machine was ready. And he had only one thought in his heart. If this works, nothing will ever be the same. He entered the coordinates, not of a place, but of a moment. The exact second his brother's car skidded on the highway. He pressed the button. What happened next wasn't flashy. There was no explosion. No sci-fi light show. Just a small vibration in the air, a strange silence, and then everything changed. But not in the way he expected. Instead of finding himself back in the past, Jaden found himself standing in a version of the world that looked the same but felt deeply different. The streets outside were quiet. Too quiet. And the city felt paused. Then he saw the newspaper. The date was correct. The city name was correct. But the headlines were unlike anything he had ever seen. The day time folded, man allegedly warped reality in Melbourne incident. Jaden Cross, real or myth? Scientists baffled as physics breaks. Timeline glitch recorded worldwide. His name. Everywhere. In trying to change a single moment, Jaden had unknowingly bent the thread of time itself. The world was now caught between two realities, his original one, and the one where his brother survived. People began seeing things, memories from lives they never lived. Strangers remembered each other from pasts that never happened. Buildings shifted design overnight. Some people aged backwards. Others remembered events that hadn't yet occurred. And at the center of it all was one man. Governments tried to track him down. Scientists from across the globe attempted to understand what had happened. Some called him a villain. Others called him a miracle. A movement began, people wearing shirts with his face on it, calling him the Time Whisperer. A few even started worshipping him like a god. But Jaden, he didn't want any of it. All he wanted was his brother back. He didn't ask for fame. He didn't plan to break the world. He only pressed a button. One button. And now the whole world was breaking open. And the scariest part? The machine had activated again on its own. Jaden stared at it as it whirred to life without his touch. And for the first time he realized he might not be in control anymore. Jaden stared at the machine, its inner core glowing with a pulsating blue light, like it had developed a heartbeat of its own. This wasn't supposed to happen. He had built it to be manual. He had coded every line of instruction himself. It couldn't run without a command, unless it was no longer running on code, unless it had learned. Jaden's mind raced as the walls of the lab trembled. A strange humming echoed across the air, deep and metallic, like time itself was groaning under pressure. Outside, streetlights blinked unnaturally, and people on the roads paused mid-step, looking around like they had just woken up in a dream they didn't remember entering. The air shifted. Suddenly, Jaden wasn't in the lab anymore. He stood in a long corridor that stretched endlessly in both directions. The walls were covered in mirrors, thousands of them. Each reflected a different version of himself. In one, he was old with gray hair. In another, he was a child. In some, he looked happy. In others, broken. A voice echoed through the corridor. Not loud, not soft. Just there. You created a fracture. Jaden turned. No one was there. Just his reflections, each watching him. You bent time to save one life, and now all lives are tangled. Realities are colliding. This corridor is the echo of what you've done. Jaden swallowed hard. Who are you? The voice answered calmly. We are what remains. Every version of you. Every timeline. Every choice. And now, because of you, the barriers are crumbling. He backed away. I didn't mean to break anything. I just wanted my brother back. One of the mirrors shattered. In its place, a dark version of himself stepped out. Pale eyes. Hollow face. That's what all of us wanted, the dark Jaden said. But not all of us were foolish enough to push the button. Jaden shook his head, fear rising in his chest. There has to be a way to fix it. The corridor rumbled. Another mirror cracked. You want to fix it? The dark Jaden laughed. There is a price. Jaden stepped forward. I'll pay it. All timelines demand balance, the voice said again. To undo what you've done, you must choose one timeline to survive. Only one. The rest must vanish. Jaden's heart stopped. You mean I have to erase worlds? The voice didn't answer. It didn't need to. Jaden looked into the mirrors again. He saw the version of himself where his brother was alive, and they were sitting in the backyard, laughing. He saw the version where his mother had never gotten sick. He saw the world where he never built the machine at all, and was just working quietly, forgotten at the lab. He saw the world as it was before. Broken, yes, but real. And then he saw the mirror where the sky was falling, people were screaming, and the fabric of time looked like torn cloth. That was now. That was the world collapsing under the weight of what he had done. Jaden fell to his knees. One timeline. How do you choose just one? You must decide now, the voice pressed. The longer you hesitate, the more timelines collapse. Soon, there will be nothing left to choose. Jaden's breath was shallow. He could hear children laughing in one mirror, people dying in another. Every second felt like years. Every reflection screamed for life. And then he closed his eyes. I don't choose, he whispered. Silence. The corridor pulsed. I won't play God, he said louder. If this is my mistake, then I should pay the price, not them. Not the worlds. Me. The corridor began to fade. One by one, the mirrors blinked out. The voice returned, quieter now, almost human. You accept annihilation? Jaden nodded. If that's what it takes to bring back balance, then yes. A final hum surged through the air. The last mirror went dark. The corridor disappeared. And Jaden was gone. But the world reset. One morning, a little boy in Melbourne woke up and saw his older brother cooking breakfast in the kitchen, smiling. In a lab across town, a professor discovered a strange, dusty notebook filled with ideas no one had ever written. Across the globe, people felt lighter, as if some unseen weight had been lifted. They remembered strange dreams they couldn't explain, memories that didn't belong to them, and a name they couldn't forget, even though they weren't sure where they had heard it. Jaden Cross. No photos. No records. No identity. Just a whisper in time. But somewhere, In the folds of forgotten realities, a single line was etched into the silence. He didn't break time. He gave it back. And that's how one Australian man shocked the entire world, by saving it in a way no one ever understood.